So, you know, I believe we're in a place right now where a lot of young people, they are having issues with understanding what having a great work ethic is. What it really means to be successful, reach success, and attain all of the goals, dreams, and aspirations you may have. There are so many people out there that they just want the dream. They want the dream now. They don't care about putting in the work. They don't care about putting in the time and the effort. They don't care about really learning what it takes and requires to get to that place that they want to get to in life. They don't understand none of that. They don't care to understand any of it. And it's a huge problem when you really pay attention to a lot of these young kids out here. I mean, adults too, but I'm talking to the youth right now. It's a real problem when you pay attention to them trying to attain their goals because they're missing key parts of what it takes to attain those goals. So I want to go over something. There are three things that people got to understand when it comes down to reaching goals, reaching success, and going to the places that you want to get to in life to one day hopefully be able to fulfill your dream. And those three things is work hard, take risks, and fail. Now, when it comes down to these things, I just want to put this out there first. You got to believe in something. Me personally, I believe in God. I'm a Christian man. If you have no faith, none of this matters. If you have nothing that you believe in, none of this matters. So I'm talking to the individuals that understand that already. You have that understanding, You do believe in something. You do have faith, right? Okay. So going back to the three things that I was mentioning, work hard, take risks, and fail. And I'm going to explain why I mentioned fail, right? Because it's a big part of success. It's a big part of growth. It's a big part of getting to where you want to get to in life. It don't feel good to fail, but it's definitely a big part of achieving your dreams and goals, right? So I see so many people out there nowadays that they have so many goals. Oh my God, I want to be the next LeBron. I want to be the next Drake. I want to be the next Denzel. I want to be great. I want to be a part of changing this world in an incredible way. But when you give them the tools and you lay out the things that you would have to do to get to that place, they get frustrated. They get a little bit depressed. They start feeling down. They almost look at you in a way where they feel like you're telling them that they're not going to be able to achieve their goals and their dreams because you're saying, hey, you got to go through this to get there. Because they don't understand that in order to get there, you have to be able to work hard, take risks, and fail, and do it all over again. If you're not willing to go through that, then how are you going to achieve the dream that you have? It absolutely makes no sense. You know, a lot of people look around and see, oh, Paul P, he got a podcast. He drives a Range Rover. He got his own house. You know, he got businesses and all of these things going on, but have no idea what I had to go through and have no idea what I'm going through now. They don't understand that I had to live in my car on the streets in order to put myself in a position where I can even get my business going one day, because I was evicted. In fact, a repo man was looking for the car I was sleeping in. But at the same time, I didn't want to give up. I didn't tell myself, you know what? You have family in Arizona who have their own houses. Go out there and start all over again. Don't worry about the dream you have right now. Go to Arizona. Go to another state. Go to Kansas where your mom is at. Get out of here. That never crossed my mind, because I was willing to work hard, continue to take risks, and fail over and over and over again. And boy, did I fail over and over and over again. When I was trying to get my business going, I'll never forget. I was taking showers at 24 Hour Fitness, and I was holding interviews just in case I get a contract for my business at Starbucks. People were laughing at me. No one believed that I was going to do anything. And like, you ain't got nothing. You living in your car. How are you trying to get a business going when you living in your car? Nobody saw it. Nobody believed. I didn't just have a dream and say, I'm going to do this, and I'm living at home with my parents and just lollygagging, saying, hey, I'm going to be great one day, but not really going through the pain that it takes to be great one day. I wasn't living like that. I was going through the pain. A lot of people nowadays, they don't want to go through the pain. I was going through the pain. These are the tests that you need to get to the places that you want to get to one day. To achieve those dreams, these are the tests that you need to go through. I was living in my car for about 6-7 months. Maybe a little longer. I just know it was definitely 6 months or more. And I'll never forget, after going through so much, I'm telling you, I was going to 30 businesses a day trying to get a contract. Every day. People laughing at me. I didn't have no money, but saying, okay, bring me back a coffee and we could talk. I'm scraping up pennies, nickels, and dimes to go and get an administrator a coffee. I didn't even have the money. I'm just trying to do what they asked me to do. And I bring them back the coffee and they say, well, maybe we'll think about a meeting, come back at the end of the week. Not knowing I'm going right back to sleep in my car under a bridge near Skid Row. I was broke, I was poor, and I had nothing. But I didn't give up. I was willing to go through what I had to go through. I was willing to work hard and take those risks and fail to achieve what I was trying to achieve. So I continued to do that until eventually, when I was sitting in my car after a long day, it was late in the day too, because I would start every day around 5-6 a.m. So it was around 6 p.m. And I'm just in my car. I'm like, well, I got nowhere else to go but back under the bridge. So after going to so many facilities, I'm just sitting in my car like, man, Another day. How many facilities I went to today? Nothing. Lord Jesus, like, what's going on? Man, I'm not gonna quit. I'm willing to put in the work. But man, what's going on? Am I gonna be able to fulfill my goal of getting this business going? And I'll never forget when I was sitting in my car, I eventually looked up and I saw a sign that said, I can say it now, St. John of God. This is actually in my book too. That's a facility in Los Angeles. And I said, well, I don't have this facility on my list, but what do I got to lose at this moment? And I went inside, and the first person I talked to, actually, she sat down with me. She didn't have any opportunities available, but she said, you know what? I'm going to send you to the assisted living side to go and talk to Maria. Who knows? Maybe she has something available. So I went and talked to Maria. And God just allowed us to connect. You know, I'm just talking. I'm acting like, you know, when Eminem say, you only get one shot. I was talking like it was my last and only shot. I wasn't going to miss. And I noticed her just listening, sitting back, eventually sitting back, just listening. And I'm telling my story. I'm not just trying to sell her on the business side of what I was doing. I was actually telling her my story too, my journey. And she's listening. And at the end of that, she was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a shot. Don't make me look bad, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. And boy, did she give me an opportunity. And I was not going to mess up with that opportunity. That's the contract that got my business really going. After that, it was up from there. But I had to work hard, take risks, and fail over and over and over and over and over and over again. For so many months, living in my car. Until I finally got the chance to show what I could do and live my dream of having a business that's running and successful. See, a lot of people out there don't understand what it really takes and don't want to put in the work. They want it, but don't want to put in the work and do not have the work ethic to accomplish it. People are scared of the hard work. People are scared to take risks because they don't want to lose anything and they don't want to look bad. They're thinking about others, and people definitely don't want to fail. Not understanding that failure is what makes you stronger. Failure is how you learn. Failure is how you gain wisdom and get better. They don't understand none of that. And when you try to tell them, they don't listen. So moving forward, right? People may look at everything that I got going on and say, man, Paul is living good. He got no problems. He got money, success, and everything, right? But they don't understand what I go through day to day. They don't understand that, hey, I still fail. I still fail. You really want to live your dream? You really want to reach those goals? But you don't want to fail. Not understanding that the people who have reached the goals that you want to reach still fail all the time. Just 2 years ago, my business went through a huge situation where I lost over $500K altogether. $500K out my bank. A bad business situation that happened. Almost shut my business down. In fact, if I didn't have God in my life and I wasn't willing to put in the work, I wouldn't have a business today. I wouldn't have a business today. So I failed, but I didn't give up. I kept going. And even today, I go through trials and tribulations. So when you see everything that's going on right here, it doesn't mean that I don't still have to work hard, take risk, and fail, and do it all over again until I'm able to get to that next level. It does not mean that I don't still have to go through those things. Because if you want to really reach your goals, if you really want to get to your dreams, you got to understand that you got to go through trials and tribulations. You got to go through feeling the pain. You got to go through those days when you just gonna want to cry, but have to wipe your tears and get back up. You got to go through listening to others, even if you got to sit there and listen for hours after hours after hours. Just sit there and listen. Thank God someone is giving you free game. Thank God someone is giving you the things and tools that you need. That everybody out there is just not given. But there's no way that you could get to the next level and reach those goals without going through something that is going to be painful sometimes. That's going to take up your time, take you away from going out with your friends, take you away from hanging out, take you away from going to smoke that blunt with the homie, take you away from that video game, take you away from watching movies all the time, take you away from just chilling with your girl or your man all the time. You gotta go through situations that require you to take risk. And hey, in some cases, lose those things. That is hard to lose if you really want to achieve those goals and dreams that you got. You cannot expect to stay in the same position and move the same way and grow and make it to those destinations that you have. That's so hard to reach. Can't reach that dream that way. What risk are you willing to take? How hard are you willing to work? How many times are you willing to get up if you fail over and over and over again? A lot of you need to ask yourself that. Because I watch how so many people out here move that believe, really believe that they're going to get to where they're trying to get to, moving the way that they're moving, when they're taking no risk to get to where they're trying to go. And when you tell them about how hard it is and the work ethic you need to get there, they look at you like you crazy. They look at you like you're telling them they're not going to get there because they don't want to put in the work. I don't know why God led me to talk about this today. All I know is that I felt convicted to talk about this today. It's somebody out there that needs to hear this. It's somebody out there that needs to know you're not doing enough. It's somebody out there that needs to know, look, no more excuses. It's somebody out there that needs to know you need to push yourself harder. Because maybe they're not hearing that. I don't look at myself any better than anyone. I'm just like all of you. Anything that I got, I promise you, y'all can have it all. This is all I will say, though. You gotta work hard and never think after getting to that next level, you won't fail. Sometimes you may have to start over again. Because you in these places that y'all look at, all this around here, just because you in these places does not mean that you don't still fail. It doesn't mean that you don't have to start back from square one. People like me, I'm just ready for it. That's why it don't show. I'm prepared for it. I'm not scared of it. This camera will stay on whether I'm back in my car or I'm in this studio. It don't matter. I'm not scared to go through what I gotta go through. So just because you see this doesn't mean that I don't face trials and tribulations. I'm telling all of you this from experience. That if someone who is willing to risk it all, willing to risk it all, that still goes through trials and tribulations, then why do you think that you don't have to? And you not willing to risk nothing? You got to think about that and ask yourself, do you really want it? And it's okay if you don't really want it. This world runs off of people living normal and just wanting to focus on family, which is nothing wrong with that. And not have to put in that extra work and go to that extra level, push that extra gear. They don't have to do all of that because that's not what they want. They just want to go work their 9 to 5, go home, take care of their family. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing that I'm just telling all of you is to be real with yourselves, because all you're going to do is hurt yourselves. Because I'm telling you, it's a hard, long road to try to go after something great. And if you lukewarm with it, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you make it even harder. That's when you turn into a 50, 60-year-old that have a lot of regrets. Because you want it to be great, but you didn't want to go through what it had to be great, what you had to be great. Want it to be great, but don't want to go through what you have to be great. So you just play this little lukewarm game all your life and never could find stability and balance in your life. That's why I say it's okay to be normal. If you're going to do that, choose that direction and go all the way with it. Leave being great to the ones who are willing to risk it all. Because the only way to truly suffer is to be lukewarm. And that's on this earth. Because after life, that's a different thing. But the only way to truly suffer is to be lukewarm. So choose a direction no matter what. But don't play with it. Don't play with it. If you're going to be great, listen to what I'm saying and switch it up. Understand you got to change. You got to be really ready to lose it all and go to the extra places and levels that you have to go through to get there. Be ready to listen to someone. Get a mentor and listen to that mentor. And when you have tasks that you have to do when you're alone and don't have that mentor and that person by your side that's talking to you, put in the work when no one's listening and no one's looking. But if you don't want that and you're okay with just being normal because that ain't what you want, then go do that to the fullest. But this message right here is for the ones who say, I want to be great and I want to achieve those goals that a lot of people look at as almost non-achievable. You got to switch it up, man. You got to switch it up. I hope that this message reach some of the young people out there. You know, like I said, I felt led to speak on this. And I also see how a lot of the young people nowadays move. And I only speak to them about this if they ask me questions. But I watch no matter what. And a lot of these young people need guidance. Because there's so many out here that's suffering because they looking at others, not understanding that they may not have what you think they have, but they get depressed because they want it, but don't understand where to start. And deep down, they're not willing to do what they have to do to get to those places. So it's better you hear it and you understand that forget about what other people got. Forget about what you see. If you put in the work, you could get there. Everything is attainable. Everything on this earth. You could reach any goal you have, but what are you willing to do? What are you willing to risk? How hard are you willing to work? Do you have a good work ethic? How many times are you willing to fail and get back up and do it all over again? How many? Ask yourself that. Don't worry about what other people are doing on social media. You don't know what they really have anyways. That's why I don't post. Oh, I'm doing this and I'm here. Man, y'all know what come on, man. I done been outside of this country so many times. I done had 40, 50 grand sitting in a briefcase so many times, man. Y'all never saw Paul P post nothing. Ever. Because that's not what it's about. So don't worry about what people are posting. Because most of the time, people who have to post that, they really don't got it. Focus on yourself and figure out who you really want to be. And if you want to be great, I hope you pay attention to this video. It's your boy, Paul P. I love you all. Doses.